GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Milky Mist Premium Ice Cream.
I think I was always a very emotional person, and that's the reason I got married at a very young age. In fact, a lot of people told me also that you're an actor, you're so pretty, like why are you getting married? I said, what do you mean?
But there was this word used for you, divorcee. How do you respond to that?
I mean, whatever happened in my life happened, but I mean, that could even happen to your daughter, or that could happen to anyone. Like, my parents never told me, beta, don't come back home. They supported me, they welcomed me back. My experiences have taught me how people are so fake, how people are wearing masks, how sweet they are on your face, and how they are so different behind your back. And I think your tough times definitely show you who your people are. In fact, when I was being written about also badly and just being targeted unnecessarily, my dad was telling me, why are you not speaking up your side of the story? I was innocent, I was walked over like a doormat. And there were so many fake narratives being spoken. First thing, people will only point fingers at women. Like, isne hi kuch kiya hoga, she's like this, she's like that. I was very depressed for 2-3 years. Like, for 2-3 years, I stopped going out of my house only, actually. It's not only always about finance. I was never coming from a bad family. But I think it's also because women are so loving and so nurturing that they can never think of leaving their partner, and they always think that no, things will change. I'm in fact looking at settling down again. Like, I'm not a person who will become negative. Like, absolutely okay, if something didn't work out in life. But that doesn't, as I said, define your whole life. It was a speed breaker, there was a bump, now I have to move on. And I'm waiting to get married and have kids and everything. Today, I feel like I'm so much more empowered, so much more calmer, so much more positive. Like, even though so many bad things happen to me.
She's not only someone who has broken so many labels attached to her, but she has also been the voice of so many voiceless women out there and been an inspiration to many, including me. Because when you're growing up and you don't really have role models, you look up to this one person who's, out there doing their thing and just living their life. And that is what Vahbiz has been.
Aww.
Welcome to UnTAGged, only on Galatta India. How have you been?
Thank you so much. It is people like you who make me feel like I'm probably doing the right thing.
You are. You certainly are.
Thank you so much.
When you are a little different, and different I mean, when you don't fit into those boxes that we have been growing up hearing, ki aap aise karo, aise baitho, aise bolo. Jab aap wo nahi karte, because I've been that person and my family has been very supportive. I know yours has been too.
Yeah.
But there are so many voices around you that try to break you.
Of course.
How did you deal with that?
Well, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of learning and unlearning one does. Like, all your life, you've learned something, you've been told something. But I think it's your experiences that teach you a lot. And it is the society that, brings you down so much that they freaking make you like a rebel. Yeah. Like, I think I'm one of those results. I have become like a rebel. I break stereotypes. I am somebody, as you said, you do you. I'm like a very individualistic person. I'm not someone who follows the herd. So, and that also I did by doing a lot of unlearning. Yeah. Because I was like, okay, maybe I'm taught certain things like this, but my experiences are showing me something else. So it's better to sometimes learn and listen to your inner voice, and your own gut feeling is your GPS.
You definitely are. When you are going through something in life, professionally, personally, whatever it is, so many noises around you are actually showing that they are supportive, but they're not. And it also shows you who your true friends really are.
Of course.
In this journey of, you becoming you today, did you also figure out who your true people are?
100%. I've said this even before, and I say this even now. Yes, I think I have grown in adversity. I learned so much through my bad experiences, especially from childhood. My parents kept explaining to me that, beta, everyone's not your friend. Yeah. From childhood only, I've been this very friendly, vibrant girl. Oh, hi, hello. Everybody is my friend. But my mom, dad used to keep explaining to me, beta, everybody is not your friend. But I think you have to learn it only when you learn it yourself, the hard way. And definitely my experiences have taught me how people are so fake, how people are wearing masks, how sweet they are on your face, and how they are so different behind your back. And I think your tough times definitely show you who your people are.
Did it, however, when you were on this journey of actually understanding who truly your people are, did it ever hurt you when maybe the people you expected to stand by you didn't?
Of course it did. I am somebody, I'm all heart.
Yeah.
And when I make a friend, I make a friend for life. So I treat people like family, and those same people backstab me like so badly in the back. And I think I was made to grow up suddenly. I had to mature overnight and understand कि, okay, your parents have kept you very protected, but there is a very big bad world there.
Yeah.
I think I was, my father's kept us very protected. Though I luckily then also was a little different because I left home very early. At a very early stage, I got my first show or whatever. But still, I realized that I was so naive to trust so many people who like this flipped and their masks just fell off.
Yeah.
So of course it hurt. But today, like I've reached a stage where I'm detached and I have no expectations only from anybody. Like now I'll not be surprised if anyone hurts you. Because now I won't get hurt also.
Yeah, yeah. But you come from a culture where there was this tabloid culture, which I have only studied because I started journalism in 2018.
Okay.
And digital media was everything back then.
Right.
But I also have grown up seeing actors only on TV, or they had very limited sources to actually put their story forth. Like
Yes.
Instagram and all of that.
It was
Twitter
more print.
came very,
Those days it was more print and newspapers. Yeah.
So it was like whatever was written, whatever you read, people considered it the truth. You have tackled all of that and come here.
Yeah.
And I remember even then you were this outspoken person who will stand by her truth no matter what.
Yeah.
Were there people around you telling you to not do that, maybe because it would harm your reputation?
No, not at all. In fact, my mom and dad have taught me to be very strong. My father, in fact, sometimes I feel like he's barely brought me up like a girl. I'm so strong.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't allow us to just dwell and, play victim. He's taught us to be a victor. In fact, when I was being written about also badly and just being targeted unnecessarily, my dad was telling me, why are you not speaking up your side of the story? But it's just that I was that time too much in a shock, and I was understanding that there are too many people playing games with me. I didn't know myself what is happening with me. But when I do understand, then I definitely do speak up.
And I say this because I know the truth, and I know that sometimes it's very harsh on people and gender no bar, it can also happen to a man.
Yes,
you are written badly about.
Yes.
And you are being blamed for something you haven't even
Yeah.
done, and already you're broken, but
Yeah.
you also have to deal with this shit which
Yeah.
isn't even true. How difficult was it to come out of that phase?
Well, I won't lie. I was very depressed for 2-3 years. For 2-3 years, I stopped going out of my house only actually. Because I was like, anything I'm doing or anything I'm doing or being clicked with anyone, and a lot of bullshit is being written. And it took me a few years to understand what is exactly happening. But then I somehow, as I said, I rose from the ashes and I got myself out of it. And I said, it's high time to, teach people a lesson and speak your truth. Because, just because I was innocent, I was walked over like a doormat. And, there were so many fake narratives being spoken. Because, see, people who don't lie, they speak eye to eye and they don't care. They speak boldly.
True.
So then I understood that there's some major backstabbing happening with me. And, a lot of fake narratives are being told about me. So I need to stand up for myself.
Do you feel some people enter your life to teach you a lesson and to actually make your life better by leaving it? Do you believe that thing?
100%. See, I used to cry a lot. My mom's a very, very spiritual person. And my mom used to explain to me, beta, Sai Baba teaches something called saburi.
Yes.
Okay. And she used to tell me, beta, sometimes you're paying a life, paying a price maybe because of your past life karma. So because I was like, what have I done? Why am I being tortured? So it took me a lot of years to understand this. But that's why today I have become very calm and, calm and peaceful. And I've realized many things in life, whether it is work-wise, relationships-wise, or anything. Whenever something goes from your life or something doesn't work out, it happens for the best. Because today, when I'm more mature and more grown up, I've only understood that I've dodged a bullet. And mera kuch nahi bigda hai. actually my life has only become better. As they say that, beautiful things happen when you distance yourself from negativity.
True.
So in fact, that is what has happened, because now when people see me, they are quite surprised. They're like, you're very changed.
Yeah. No,
So-
today when I see you, you are your happier version. You are very positive. You know, you walked in and we met before the cameras rolled. And in my head, I was like, because I have seen those faces, not we didn't meet, but I could see, you know, on these tabloids and pictures and everything. And then and then you feel in your heart that no one should go through this. But today when I see you, you are out of it like a boss. But even whenever you have spoken your truth, or whenever you have come out and clarified anything, you have never ever left your dignity.
Never.
The grace has
Never.
always
Have
stayed.
you ever seen me take any names or say anything bad about anybody?
Never.
Never.
How do you still manage to do that?
I think that's just your bloodline. I mean, from the time I was sent to Bombay, when my parents allowed me to go at such a young age, they only told me one thing: "Ki beta, you have to be dignified and never do anything that puts the family down." So because I have a responsibility, I have very successful parents behind me. My father has a very big name in Pune. There is a responsibility you have towards your family also. You cannot do anything that puts your whole family down. We are a very close-knit and a thick family, and we all are connected to each other. So everyone's action can always impact the others.
Yeah.
So all I always did was just, even work-wise, do quality work. And anything I do in my life, it's quality. Simple.
You know, when you are in your queen era, this is what I keep reading about these days, that there's this energy that once you have dealt with every negativity and you are in your, okay, I am my own boss and I can achieve everything era. How does it feel today?
Yeah, actually, you're right. I'm enjoying this phase much more than I was when I was younger. Because today, like, I feel like I'm so much more empowered, so much more calmer, so much more positive. Like, even though so many bad things happen to me, but you have a better understanding of life. And I think whatever happened in life, it's not your fault. I mean, that was your understanding at that age. Like, now what I was probably at 23 or 24, like, obviously today I have a different understanding of life. And secondly, as I said, like, even when it comes to the media, I am very good friends with most of them, because, you know, I have a friendly nature. And I don't have a problem as such. Like, you know, you support me, I support you. I just recently said this in another interview. So my only issue happens when I see yellow journalism.
Yeah.
I am sorry. That is where you will see me lashing out, because like, I'm not at all fond of anybody doing yellow journalism. Like, just because, you know, you are best friends with someone, you put down another person and totally talk lies. I mean, dude, we all have to live here. There's something called karma. Like, you can't do this. You know, like, totally putting down another person and just, you know, glorifying the other party or vice versa. You can't do that. Like, I love the media. I'm good friends with everybody. Like, but there are just few sections, that's what I'm saying, which I just don't like respect this fact. Like, so when I'm not respected and I'm unnecessarily targeted, that is something that doesn't go down well with me at all.
Yeah. Do you feel no matter how progressive we become, women will always be blamed more?
Yeah, I've gone through many things myself, so I absolutely agree. I might be a progressive person, my family must be, but I've realized the society is not. And 100%, I don't know why, even on the trolls or even otherwise, like, first thing, people will only point fingers at women. Like, isne hi kuch kiya hoga, she's like this, she's like that. So I think that really needs to be broken. And I don't know when the society is going to change their perception, because it's very, very wrong. But I guess people will only understand the day they will go through it themselves.
That is so true.
Because that time you will realize what you did to somebody else.
You know, sometimes how our parents teach us good things happen to good people. When sadly sometimes something bad happens, I'm like, why is it happening? I'm not a bad person. You know, that comes in your head, and then it can make you go in a zone which is a little negative. Did that ever happen in your life?
Of course, I told you, I used to cry a lot. So, but luckily, mom is very spiritual. In fact, in our house, we have an entire room that is built that is a mandir. Beautiful.
Wow.
My mom has a gorgeous mandir. Like, almost as big as my hall, that is our mandir. Like, you know, so my mom is totally into prayers and religion and like spirituality. So that's what I'm saying. It was my mom who explained to me. She used to explain to me, but that time also I used to cry a lot and be impatient. But with time, I have also realized, like, you know, why you see me so happy today? Because I've left control. We want to control everything.
Exactly.
And as you said, we wonder that we have not done anything. I'm a nice person. Why is this happening to me? But you can't control. Like, you have to leave it to the universe.
Yeah.
So that's why today I'm much more relaxed, because I've left control, whether it is work-wise, whether it is any-wise, like friendships, relationships, anything. Like today, even if I had a breakup or like some friendship goes sour, I'll be like, okay, like, I mean, there has to be some reason behind it. And as I said, like, I've always realized after a few years that everything happens for the good and you
True.
dodge a bullet.
Has the way you move on in life, from a project, from a person, from a friend, from a love interest, anything, that could be anyone or anything, has that process changed now? Have you become mature in that?
Yeah, exactly what I just answered. Like, I have, like, because I said I've left control. Like, and I don't get so hurt now, because that's what I'm saying. A few months or a few years down the line, God will show you the answers, and you will realize that, okay, actually God has just saved me.
Yeah.
This person probably was very negative, or this friend was backstabbing me, or something happens. I've always got answers later.
I also remember a phase in life where there were so many reports talking about your weight.
Yeah.
Now, the way you tackled it was, firstly, I need to tell you that not many people do that, because I have also grown up being chubby
I
throughout.
can understand.
I didn't have many people. Like Sonakshi is one person I look up to, and
Okay.
she's just a very good human being now. Now we know each other, so I can tell
How
that
sweet.
she was one of them.
Yes,
You were one of
yes.
them. Divyanka, when she recently went through, she was one of them.
Yeah.
And it keeps happening to actors on a much bigger
Yeah.
level. So I
Yeah.
can't even compare what I went through, because honestly I haven't.
I
I've always
can-
been a very confident person, so
Good,
I had
very
no
good.
questions to answer. But when it happened to you, how did you deal with it internally?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Everybody cannot deal with it, but and not that I also some overnight
Yeah.
could deal with it. Like initially, like you're already dealing with so much. Your body is changing, and it's not your fault. I cannot go around showing everybody my results, my blood reports. Okay, guys, I have this problem, that problem. Though after a few years, then I had to open
Yeah.
up and say I'm suffering from certain issues. Nobody wants to put on weight but like voluntarily, right? Everyone wants to be fit.
Yeah.
Of course it's very important to be fit, but like I'm just, what I realized after a few years, after a lot of people put me down, friends, family, society, the industry, I struggled and struggled. I would gym twice a day. I would do everything in my control, but the weight would magically come back. And what I realized after a few years is that, in fact, I used to be a bag of bones. I was a ramp model.
Wow.
And I realized that when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm liking who I am. And I am seeing myself and I'm finding myself pretty. Like, what's the problem? And in fact, I mean, I might sound funny, but I felt like the weight really suited me. So I think everything boils down to your confidence. I gained back my confidence. Secondly, I realized that at the end of the day, I'm human.
Yeah.
Have I harmed someone? Have I done a crime? Have I murdered someone? What have I done to go through so much shame
Yeah.
and so much people are putting me down? And then I realized that first of all, it's a perception of the society which has been going on for eras.
True.
So better speak up. That's how I started speaking up.
Yeah.
And mind you, it started with the family itself. Like, I even told my family, okay, keep some boundaries. Like, don't do this. I'm not appreciating it. So it first started with small changes. Like, my dad always laughs at me. Like, when I go home, I teach him words like body shaming and all. He's like, oh my God, every time Vahbiz comes home, she teaches us new words. Like, see, everybody learns. They also learn to their kids also. A lot of things. And I also realized one more thing, that whoever loves you, they will love you however the hell you are.
Yeah.
Okay? Your love can't be that shallow. Okay? If you love me, then you love me as however I am, right? So I realized that all the people, many people who are doing this also, they're very shallow people. So get rid of such people. Like, surround yourself with very, very positive and supportive friends and family. Because see what happens is, when you're already going through shit, and then someone is going on knocking it in your head even more, then you're putting someone in depression.
Yeah.
Like, I was depressed. Even I couldn't deal with the changes. But then when I decided to take a stand, and then when I became confident about things, I suddenly started seeing everything around me is changing. And people started appreciating me the way I am. Because they realized that she's not going to give a damn.
Yeah.
And secondly, as I said, I'm not answerable to the whole world. I'm only answerable to two people in my life, and that is my parents. And I'm genuinely going through something, right? I'm not doing it out of some whatever. I mean, I'm not doing it voluntarily,
Yeah,
right? As I
of
said, so
course.
if I'm putting on weight, there are some issues. Like now, like see, there are many other people in my also life. I have suddenly seen them skinny and then they are putting on weight. But it depends on your heart. I never go and poke them. कि यार क्या मोटा हो गया है यार. Like I saw this happening with my mom. What happened is my mom was also very skinny. And when my mom put on weight after my brother, after she was pregnant, my brother, the weight went very up.
Okay.
And I saw a lot of people saying very insulting stuff to my mom. Like I literally remember one man even saying कि क्या ढोल लग रही है यार. Like so I was a kid, but that has impacted me.
Yeah.
And my mom is not as strong as me. My mom couldn't speak up. But whatever I've seen with my mother
Correct.
and whatever happened to me also, then I was like, no, not taking shit. I'm a very no-nonsense person, you know that. And then I started giving it back to people. So then people also realize their boundaries and they
Yeah.
stop. Because I have seen this as a child also.
But how does it feel when people come to you today and say that, maybe in a small way you inspired us because we saw you and we got motivated and we were like, if she can do it, we can also do it. We can get through this.
Of course, it's like the biggest compliment. If I've ever changed even one life, I will feel like my purpose of living is achieved. I'll be more than happy if I could help anybody. In fact, so many girls used to write to me, DM me. I've always spoken to girls and encouraged them because I don't want anybody to go through this, yeah. And like, what if somebody is sensitive?
Yeah.
Like, luckily I'm strong, but other people are sensitive, na? So I'll be more than happy if I can always help someone.
Of course, the show's name is UnTAGged, and there are so many tags a person deals with. Some are good tags, some are great tags, like you're a good actor, you're a good person. These are all good tags. We go through some bad tags also. I think there are some of the tags that really, really annoy me is when they are raised on your character, raised on you as a human being, as a person. When you have to deal with it, also keeping in mind that you are someone who's looked up to, who has a fan base, who has an audience who's watching everything you say and do. How does that make you feel?
That's what I'm saying. Of course, for a few years, it did bother me. But then somebody said a very wonderful thing to me. One of my friend, he's a lawyer, and he said, nobody defines you. And that just got stuck in my head. I'm like, that's true. Nobody defines you, right? As I said, you own your truth.
Yeah.
And you and your family know what the truth is, right? You can't go around giving an answer because like that way, to, that's the reason, like people will talk about you anyway. Whether you're any shape or size or religion or creed or anything or any color. So, you gotta just understand and accept the fact that logo ka kaam hai kehna. So you do you live, you be yourself.
Yeah.
Simple. And it takes a long time, obviously, for everyone to understand this.
Today, does it bother you? And I want to get this topic up because I saw a recent clip of yours. I think some interactions you did recently where there was this word used for you, divorcee. And when I heard it, I got a little uncomfortable because as a woman myself, and I have seen a divorce in my family, in my extended family, so I know what it does to a person. To name that person that, I feel that's not your tag, that's not your label. It's done, it's dusted, it's been years, everyone's moved on, you are doing great in your life. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I said that because I have experienced something like that. It had nothing to do with my past because then they just put wrong thumbnails. It was, in fact, something to do with some new experiences I had in my life, and I had people running me down. And initially, it really hurt me. And I thought I'll try to convince those people and this and that. But then I realized, dude, actually, you should change your perception. Like, why should I convince someone? Because, I mean, whatever happened in my life happened. But, I mean, that could even happen to your daughter. Or that could happen to anyone. Like, my parents never told me, beta, don't come back home. They supported me. They welcomed me back. They kept me warm. Like, this is what people do. Good people.
Yeah.
So it took me years to understand. I'm like, no, whatever is happening with me, I'm not going to get into details, is very wrong. And somebody genuine would never do this to a girl. Because if you are a woman, how can you put down another woman? So then I decided to like just break off with all those ties.
But today we want to. Firstly, I have a complaint. We want to see you much more. Okay,
How sweet.
being out there
So I'm
doing a
coming
lot
back.
of. You're
Of course I'm
coming
coming
back
back.
exactly, and I am coming to that. Was there not the right kind of work that you were getting? You didn't want to
100%.
do that.
It was a mix, yeah. I was not in the right state of mind. And also at the same time, not at all the right kind of work. And that's what I'm saying. Even today, I don't blame anything, yeah. I just think it was not my right time.
Yeah.
Because sometimes then suddenly something just comes and falls in your lap.
Yeah.
And now I am coming back. And this show also happened to me by destiny. So, definitely, yes, I am a bit choosy. I come from a business family, so I don't think acting is the do and die. I have other things I do. I have an event business. I'm an influencer. I do a lot of brand campaigns. So I know how to keep myself busy. I know how to get the money on the table.
Yeah.
As long as I am doing work. That is my
Correct.
motto. Like what happens is the outside world only perceives that only if you're an actor, you're working. No, I'm sorry. I come from a business family and I have a very, very strong and successful father. So for me, my father and mother have only taught me that, beta, you have to keep working. Now, whether it is any work.
Yeah.
So I prefer to have 2-3 professions. But I am coming back to acting also.
Lovely. You are also someone who, you just mentioned, you have another business. You are a content creator. You are out there doing your bit. Despite that, so many times actors are labeled. Like, I have studied journalism and we have taught that an actor is an actor. You will not box them. In the West, they don't do that. They don't call you a TV actor. They don't call you a daily soap actor. या फिर ये सिर्फ reality shows करता है या ये films करता है. Oh, and even here, there's Marathi, South, Tamil and all of that. And I'm like, listen, they are all actors and it's high time we stop labeling them and introducing them. Like, I see a headline, TV actor, blah, blah, doing this. I'm like, what is TV actor? Like, maybe today they are working in the television, tomorrow they're not. So don't label them. How do you deal with that? Because a lot of judgments come along. I have heard big actors come out today and say that, because of this label कि हम TV में काम करते हैं, हमको बड़ी-बड़ी फिल्में नहीं
web भी नहीं मिलता है. Of course, like whatever you're saying, there's absolute truth to it. And first of all, I don't understand what is there to look down upon TV. Like, I just think an actor is an actor, whether it is any medium. And me as an individual, that's exactly what my motto has always been. That whatever, like, keep doing your work. Whatever work. Now, like, see, those days when I was younger and I had just come in fresh as a model, everyone thought I'll do movies only. But Pyar Ki Kahani happened to me. Ekta Kapoor, the Zarina of TV, launched me. I signed it. And a lot of people, they mujhe tabhi bhi sunaya tha, "Arey yaar, so disappointed. How come you're doing TV and this and that?" But what happened? Today, 12 years later, I'm still reaping the benefits. Pyar Ki Kahani is still one of the most iconic shows. So I was one of those who always believed in doing whatever work comes your way.
Yeah.
I understand it is happening with us. Whatever the actors are saying is absolutely true. And I think high time that should stop. Though, of course, a lot of actors, like my wonderful friends like Vikrant Massey and all have today made the jump. So the aisa nahi hai, from TV now people have made the jump. So, I mean, that's also something very inspiring.
When you worked earlier, now though you all have everyone, and it is I'm very thankful to social media for that one bit that we all have one platform where we can come out and speak our mind whenever we need to. Back then when that was not there, and if any wrongdoings happened to you professionally, how did you deal with that? If you were maybe replaced, or if work was not given to you, or something that was promised to you and not given to you, how did you process that back then?
Of course it's happened to me. No, I've done all my shows. I never got replaced anywhere because I'm also very professional.
Yeah.
But obviously faced a lot of politics. Like, I mean, back then I was a kid and I just couldn't understand what is happening with me. And I used to cry a lot in the makeup room. Scenes were being written in a very derogatory way. Scenes were being chopped. Role honey had been completely changed. And for me, that back then as a child, I mean, it was very difficult, yeah. I used to cry and not being invited to parties. Like, I don't know, suddenly kisko aapse kya problem ho jata hai? Because obviously it's a personal problem only. So I did initially cry. I couldn't process it because in 2-3 shows politics has happened with me. But as I said now today, my entire attitude only in life is like, theek hai, jo ho raha hai hone do. Because there has to be some reason behind it. And that is anyway also shaped me into the person I've become today. And today, obviously, I'm way more professional. way more stronger, I will know how to deal with the shit.
Lovely. No, more power to you. But
Thank you so
today,
much.
what is love for you today? How do you define it, and how has the meaning changed? I believe that if someone asked this question to me 5 years back, I would give a very childish answer, and I would be like, okay, it's like all Kejo movies and all that happening. But today, of course,
Yeah, I think
reality
that's what
hits
even
you.
I used to believe. Because I think I was always a very emotional person, and that's the reason I got married at a very young age. In fact, a lot of people told me also that you're an
Yeah, why
actor, you're so pretty, like why are you getting married? I
married?
said, what do you mean? Like, what's going to change? Because, like, see, you know, my parents got married really young. My mom had me when she was 21, and I have parents who are like my best friends. So that is what I have seen, and I've seen also the movies or whatever. But today, as you say, when you grow up and you mature, I think what I have understood about marriage or what love is, it's partner work. Like, you are one team, you should be together, not against each other. And you should have a beautiful bond and a friendship which will take you a long way. That's what my father had also told me. Ki, get someone, beta, who's your best friend. Like, because eventually, in the end, the friendship will remain. So I believe today, as I said, that it is teamwork, it's partner work. Today we are living in a generation where women are also empowered.
Yeah.
When we speak about women empowerment, we all are working. We all are not the, like, now typical housewives just, you know, having time to just sit at home. So it's really beautiful when both the partners take responsibility and both the partners come together and
Yeah.
both are supporting each other. Both are happy for each other's success. Today, maybe you have low days. Tomorrow, probably I have low days or high days. And
Yeah.
I think now it is not the typical traditional way.
True.
You know, like today, even as a man, like maybe someone is not doing well, the woman can also support them. So, you know, like just keep loving each other and supporting each other. And as I said, the base should be friendship.
But are you open to the idea of marriage or, finding love?
Of course, I'm open to the idea. I'm, in fact, looking at settling down again.
Lovely.
Like, I'm not a person who will become negative. Like, absolutely okay, yeah, if something didn't work out in life. But that doesn't, as I said, define your whole life. It was a speed breaker. There was a bump. Now I have to move on. So, of course, I am, in fact, in like search. And
Lovely.
I'm waiting to like get married and have kids and everything.
Wow, I can't wait for you to
So
see
sweet.
in that phase.
Thank
because
you.
because how they say that happy girls are the prettiest. Today when I look at you, I feel that way
How
truly
sweet.
about you.
Thank you so much.
But lastly, there's one complaint from everyone that keeps coming, because every year your name comes for Bigg Boss.
Oh, God.
Every single year
Complaint?
they're like, Vahbiz is going. No, but your fans get excited.
But I
No,
have never told
I
anyone
know
I'm going. I'm not
haven't.
even leaking the
You
name.
haven't, because the list comes out, there's your name, and people get happy and excited. Today, when I've chatted with you, I feel if you go inside, you will win and
Oh,
come, because
God.
you have it in you. I felt it about Gohar when she had
But
gone.
Gaur is a
She
Leo. I'm
won,
Saji. She's
yeah.
very vocal. I know.
And her journey was so good. So
I also
inspirational.
loved Gaur.
So
And she's
what
from
is-
Pune. We know each other from a long
Pune.
time.
See,
Yeah,
see
from
I see a
modeling
lot
days.
of that vibe also. That's
And
similar.
we know each other from 20 years from
Wow.
Pune days.
So
Yes,
what is
Gaur was
stopping
one
you?
of my favorite girls. I was not very confident for so many years. As I said, you don't become this person from before.
Yeah.
Today I have become strong, bold, confident, vocal. I was not vocal always. In fact, I was fairly a very non-confrontational person. Now I've become a vocal person. So I think now my personality, whoever sees me, even colors or whatever, many times they've called me and they've also told me that you're a strong contender. So I never said no. Never say never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it happens soon for you.
Of course.
But lastly, as I wrap this conversation, there's just one last thing I want to ask you. That a lot of times, I mentioned in my intro that you have become a voice for a lot of women out there who
So
maybe
sweet.
don't have the agency to speak.
How sweet.
And when that happens, there is an added responsibility. Do you also feel that even today, there are women who go through some wrong things in their marriage, but they don't speak up because they are
course.
financially not independent?
Of course. I mean, obviously, there are 90% of the women still going through a lot in life. And I think a lot also comes, it's not only always about finance. I was never coming from a bad
Yeah.
family. But I think it's also because women are so loving and so nurturing that they can never think of leaving their partner, and they always think that no, yeah, things will change, like things will change. Now probably it's just a phase, we might get better. And also, yes, and another thing, as you said, with women are not financially independent, that's where most of them are really suffering. So that's why today I urge all the girls, like, to be educated and to find a lot of work opportunities, work on your talents, work on your passion, work on 2, 3 professions. Don't get stuck in one thing. And it will really help, because, I mean, whoever says money, like, whatever, like, haath ka, whatever, dhool hai, mail hai, whatever, that's all crap. Like, money is important, and you must earn, because that will give you a lot of confidence, and it will help you even make better decisions in life.
Yeah.
And then, probably a lot of women won't have to go through toxicity also.
I know. But thank you so much, Vahbiz, because when I say this, I speak for a lot of people out there. Thank you for sharing your story and always being so dignified while doing that, because a lot of times when we speak about our bad experiences, we end up becoming a little harsh.
Bitter. You can become bitter also, yeah.
You have never done that. You've never been that. You have a very positive aura.
Yeah, I am like that from
And
childhood.
yes, and I hope that continues. I hope we see you more often now.
Yeah,
That is one
listen,
complaint.
now in the
Yes.
years to come, I'll be all over.
Good. We would love to see that. And all the very best for your future.
Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed this
Thank
chat.
you so much.
And as you said, like, actually, yeah, I'm so grateful after hearing you out, that if God has given me this platform, and as I said, even if I can change one life or inspire even few girls, I'll be more than happy. And thank you for bringing me on this platform.
Oh, thank you so much for being on my
Thanks a
show.
ton. You're really good.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Vahbiz Dorabjee, and you are watching me on Galatta India.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Milky Mist Premium Ice Cream.